Hey, how difficult has it been for you guys? It seems like teams are just loading up against the run and not really concerning themselves much with the pass since KJ's been out. How difficult has that been for the offensive line?
Yeah. Well, you played last week.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is tough when they load the box and blitz everybody, but we got to be better as a unit, as an O-line of going 5 for 5 together. It's tough when you're going 4 for 5 and one guy might get on the edge of a block, and we got to be better about that this week of staying together as a unit and staying together 5 for 5.
Yeah, and making sure we got support players on the right guys too, through our communication, through our effort as well too, when we're communicating calls, we need to make sure receivers know it, running back knows it, and quarterback knows it. So I think we can step up our communication a lot these last 2 games.
Dalton, you wouldn't be in this room if you weren't healthy right now. How do you feel?
I feel really good. Couldn't go last week. I didn't think I gave my team the best shot to win. And so I think that I'm feeling really good right now. Made it through practice today, made it through practice yesterday, feeling great, back 100%.
Thanks, guys.
Bob?
Hey guys, it's obviously senior night. I guess it's gonna be a chilly senior night. But Dalton, I think you've had 3 head coaches and 4 position coaches, if I'm not mistaken. Just what's this time been like for you, and what are your thoughts about senior night?
Bob, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see my career going out like this, but it's been a lot of fun still. Regardless, I've met some great coaches, I've met some awesome players, and I wouldn't trade it in for the world still, regardless. And there's one thing I wanted to get this Saturday, and that's one more win in Razorback Stadium.
And then senior classes have really changed with the portal. I mean, and COVID. You usually don't have 6-year guys like yourself, and then you have 1 year. You guys that come in maybe for 1 year. Like some of the D linemen, and then you have guys like Luke that come in for majority of their careers. So kind of what's it like being part of I guess a diverse senior class?
Yeah, it's been a little weird, especially after last year was over, and a lot of guys from my class had they moved on and didn't elect to take their 6-year option. It's definitely been odd, and especially with how tumultuous the transfer portal's been. I think that it brings a new level of, I guess, trust and communication between the locker room, because you've got new people coming in. You have to learn what their background is. You build bigger friendships with them, because if you're going to communicate out on the field, you have to know the guy you're working with. Some guys respond differently to what you're going to do. So I think it forces you to get closer with guys that when they come in. And I think this senior class is a close class.
And then Luke, you didn't start here, but you spent the majority of your career here, and I guess you could still come back, right? Have you made a decision on that?
Haven't made a decision. I'm focused on this season and getting through these games and finishing out 7-5, hopefully 8-5, going to a good bowl game.
And just as far as it is senior night, whatever the future holds, just kind of what's your time been like here? Just what do you think of being part of this group of seniors?
My decision to come to Arkansas, transferring back home, was the best decision I've ever made. My heart belongs in Arkansas. I'm so happy that I did it. It feels like forever ago whenever I transferred here from Notre Dame, to be honest. But my time here has been nothing short of amazing, and I'm really happy with how this last year has been going.
I guess I didn't really think about this, but you faced Brian Kelly, your old coach, the other day. I don't know how'd you get along with him, or what was that like?
I think, that was a long time ago. I'm more focused on Arkansas and our head coach and our program.
Okay, thanks.
Tom?
Hey guys, I'm wondering, we saw KJ throwing some before we left practice today. How do you think he did today, Luke?
I think he did good. He's looking good. He's looking healthy. We're excited to have him back this week.
Okay. A question about the Ole Miss defensive front. They've given up some rushing yards, but they got a bunch of sacks. What do you guys make of those guys, Dalton?
Yeah, on the edge, they're very sound rushers between both of them. I think that their strength lies in their ability on the interior to push the pocket back. That nose guard in there, he's a big dude. He's really strong too. And where they create problems is they try to mess with your mic points, and they try to push the pocket back so it shortens the edges for the tackles, because as you push the pocket back, the tackles have to try to keep the width of it. And if the edge rushes are as good as they are, they're able to bend that edge and collapse it on top of the quarterback that's in there. But I think it's going to be key this week that the interior holds up and that the tackles can keep the width of the pocket as well too. And we all just read out of the same book.
Hey, Luke, what are your thoughts on the defense you're facing Saturday?
Yeah, they're mainly a 3-down. They will shift to 4-down sometimes. They love to blitz and bring pressure to the middle and keep the ends wide. And tackles this week, you got to do a good job on run game, getting those ends stretched out. And like Don said, if we all just stay together, read out of the same book, we'll have a good day.
Hey, Dalton, I'm writing a little something on the series against Ole Miss, and it's been some wild back and forth since you've been here. Any thoughts about just in general facing this team, like last year's game and everything?
Yeah, last year's game was a good old-fashioned shootout. Kind of felt like we were in the Big 12 at that point, just airing it out, running the ball, all that. It was just an offensive game. Year before that, a lot of interceptions, but this is a series that you never know what's going to happen in it. It's kind of like the LSU series that we have too. It's a game where no matter what, like, it's going to be a great game. And I know the guys in the locker room right now really, really want to win, and they're preparing like that too.
Yeah, your redshirt freshman year, that game at Ole Miss, that's Arkansas's, I think, biggest comeback ever, from 31-7 to win. Were you watching that on? What do you remember about that?
Oh yeah, I remember. I think it was 3 times they iced. I want to say it was Connor Limpert, I think was a kicker at that time. 3 times they iced him, and every time he was able to kick the field goal still with it. And there was one he missed, and then one he made, and then on the third one, when he actually got to go and kick it, he made it too. And I remember we were all in the dorm room, and like Shane was kind of like coming in and out of the thing during timeouts and stuff. And when Shane was in, he missed it. So we kicked him out and made him stay in his room, and he couldn't watch it. And then he made the field goal. We won.
Good stuff. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Scotty.
Yeah, Dalton, I wanted to go back to last week for you. Personally, what was it like watching from the sidelines? I'm sure that was kind of a strange experience, but maybe gave you a little bit of a different perspective. Just what did you kind of learn about the team just watching for once?
Yeah, obviously personally it was frustrating to be on the sidelines, but like I said, I didn't think I gave my team the best chance I gave the team the best chance to win if I would have played hurt. I gained a new perspective through my ability I was able to get back behind the O-line for a lot of the games and really be able to help out Coach Kennedy with what he can see, blitzes, pressures and stuff, and more importantly, help out the O-line with it. Every time they came off the field, I talked to Luke or Ricky, Brady, Bo, all of them, Takis too, and try to give them tips on what I'm seeing, what they're struggling with, and what they can try to fix with it too. And I think that helped out a little bit, but obviously I'd much rather be out there.
For sure. And for both of you guys, what do y'all like about playing with Ricky, and maybe what's impressed you guys about his season?
Yeah, Ricky's a character. He's one of our really good friends, and we love him. And he's a great person on the field as well as off the field. And he's an amazing football player, and we're lucky to have him as our center this year.
Yeah, I agree with everything he said there. He's got kind of a poise to him when he's out on the field. He's so fast with mic points. He makes everything really quickly. And I think the best thing about it is how much he cares about the success of the O-line is what drives us all to play as hard as we can as well.
Luke, you want to explain that he's a character thing, or you just want to keep that to yourself?
He's just funny, and he's locked in and serious when he needs to be. But when we're hanging out and not practice times, he's probably one of the funniest guys that I know in the locker room.
All right, Bob, finish it up.
I guess Sam Pittman said Monday he wants it to be a freeze out, be as cold as possible. Lane Kiffin looked like he was cold in Oxford last week. He's all bundled up. But Dalton, you're obviously from up north. Well, how do you guys feel about this? It was cold Saturday, but it was sunny and it got warmer as the day went on. It's going to be dark, obviously, Saturday night, and going to get colder as the game goes on. What do you guys think about playing in the 20s probably?
I'd love it to get as cold as it possibly can. I hate it so much when it's hot out. My jersey's a different color when it's hot out versus everyone else's. And I love the cold, and I think it brings an advantage definitely to the home team that's been practicing it all week, that the colder it gets, the better off we can get.
Luke, you're a little more southern guy, obviously being from Arkansas. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I love the cold. As an offensive lineman, as a bigger guy, you love it when it's not boiling hot outside. But This team did great in the cold today. As we practiced outside, it was 38, 39 degrees and it was dark and we were under the lights. And I think it's going to roll over to Saturday. We're going to do the same. Have a great day.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Luke, Dalton, appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, guys.